diabetes.
Yeah, very exciting results of studies that show, virtual complete reversal of type 2 diabetes with either a ketogenic approach or in some cases an intermittent fasting approach. These approaches have gone mainstream when they once were thought to be really heretical. I mean, it dates back, I think, to our training as physicians. We learned about diabetes and we learned about people who were suffering from ketosis. They were, in a severe form of diabetic decompensation, and we confused it with a normal physiologic adaptation to a low-carb diet, which can actually be beneficial. It doesn't mean you're going to go into a ketogenic shock because you, don't have that donut.
And again, I think the sophistication of the information that's been out there now for many years, that whole ketosis versus ketoacidosis is a non sequitur. I don't think it's an issue anymore because most people now get it.
Okay, folks, at this point, let's pause and allow one of our sponsors to share this important message with you. This episode of Intelligent Medicine is brought to you by Healthy Aging, providing you with the unique energy support of Pure NT Factor. NT Factor is the only nutritional formula clinically proven to reduce fatigue, whatever the cause, whether it be age, illness, or just being run down. NT Factor from Nutritional Therapeutics repairs damaged cells and restores healthy bacteria in your digestive tract. Clinical trials have shown NT Factor reduces fatigue by almost half, and it even reverses some symptoms of aging. I've been taking NT Factor for years with a 45-day money-back guarantee of nothing to lose. To order, call 800-982-9158. That's 800-982-9158. Or go to ntfactor.com. That's ntfactor.com. Thanks for listening, and thanks for supporting our sponsors. They're what make Intelligent Medicine a continuing free resource to you. And now back to our guests, Jimmy Moore and Christine Moore. And you recently interviewed, I noticed in your blogs, Dr. Eric Westman, who's really been a pioneer in low-carb research, actually inspired by Dr. Atkins, because before Dr. Atkins, he was not that oriented towards that. Yeah, he became a convert, and he said, he's an ordinary physician, and he just got really excited about the potential of low-carb dieting, began doing the actual research, in part initially funded by Dr. Atkins. And so what does he have to say about the latest research?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He actually backed away from it because he was kind of the troubadour out there when no one else was doing the research in the late 90s, early 2000s, and somewhere around mid 2000s, he backed away because he started seeing other nations and other groups starting to look at the ketogenic diet. And he was like, okay, I put in my dues, but he's amazed at it. And he's really happy to see that the legacy that Dr. Atkins started, and he's told me privately, Dr. Atkins was never interested in getting research. He's like, it works. I don't have to have it studied.
Yep.
And Eric was trying to explain
he's very much a clinician.
Yes, you get more legitimacy if you get research papers that show the veracity of what you're doing. So anyway, yes, I do think, and especially now with keto being the big buzzword in the diet world, I think that's going to now spur even more funding of studies. What we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years is going to be really, really exciting.
Do you see, however, a potential for co-optation of the keto movement? Because now we have, this keto, that keto shakes, keto supplements. Do we need all that, or is that legit, or is that just sort of an appropriation of a simple idea, which is to eat a predominance of dietary fat with some protein and very little carbs?
So it is kind of interesting watching all these companies come on and try to bring keto products. I mean, we just got something in the mail the other day that claimed it was keto, and we looked at the ingredients and we're like, how in the world can they say that this is keto? They're just really in it because keto is a hot topic.
It's a brand.
And yes, and they want to make money off of it. So my philosophy, mine and Jimmy's philosophy, is that the goal is to get your nutrients from real whole foods. There are times where we do rely on certain products, but those products are peely nuts. They're those fat bombs from Drop an F-bomb. It's things like that, those Paleo Valley meat sticks. Since we do so much traveling, sometimes those things are necessary. And we realize that not everybody's schedule. I mean, if you want to have a meal replacement shake now and again, or if you want to drink your bulletproof coffee in the morning because you're on the go, that's fine. We try to meet people where they are, but the goal is to get the real whole food. And another thing that we like to say is that if you can't afford the grass-fed beef, free-range eggs, or organic vegetables at first, that's fine. Just make the best choices you can. The goal is to get there.
Indeed, to make it practical. And that's what you incorporate in the Real Food Keto book that you just came out with. Do I have the title correct?
Yes, yeah, Real Food Keto.
And so what can listeners find there? Is it kind of a turnkey operation on initiating a keto program for the average person?
Ron, I've written quite a few keto books now, and I've got a few more coming in 2019.
Starting with Keto Clarity, that was 2014, right?
That's right. It kind of kicked off the whole movement. And so I think the keto message is getting out there pretty loud and clear. What's not getting out there loud and clear are some of the other ancillary things that go along with a ketogenic diet. So when my wife, Christine, went through the nutritional therapy practitioner program to become an NTP, I was like, wow, so much of this stuff that she's spouting off, and you've already heard a little bit of it here today, I didn't know any of that stuff. And it's complementary to the information of a ketogenic diet. So yes, you will get keto information at the front part of the book, but to me, the magic of the book is what you get in the back side of the book, because nutritional therapy is shining loud and clear.
Yeah, so what we wanted to include in the book, you don't hear a lot about digestion. So if your digestion is off, then you're pretty much doomed from the start. No amount of good diet is going to help you. So we wrote a chapter in there about digestion. We wrote a chapter in there where a lot of people neglect water as a nutrient, but it's the fourth macronutrient in my opinion, because it's necessary to get the nutrients into your cells, and it regulates your body temperature, so many things. And water is the most common nutritional deficiency in America. So we wrote about that. We wrote about the endocrine system and how if your blood sugar is wonky, there's really no hope in regulating your hormones until you get your blood sugar under control. We write about detoxification. We have a couple of chapters in there which I really love. One chapter dedicated to minerals, and we do signs and symptoms of deficiencies of each mineral. And we talk about the benefits of each mineral, and then we do the same thing for vitamins. And in the back of the book, we have a list of food sources for each mineral and vitamin. So this is just a resource. Plus Maria Emmerich with her recipes. We have 50 recipes in the back of the book too from her. And she's wonderful with her recipes. And so we feel like that this book could help a lot of people who maybe are stuck, who have hit a plateau and really don't know what else to look at. People don't consider these things like digestion.
Okay, we'll get into some of that in part two, because as our listeners know, we divide our podcast into two parts. We're talking today to Christine Moore and Jimmy Moore. They're the dynamic duo who espouse a ketogenic diet. Livin' La Vida Low Carb is the blog of Jimmy Moore. And he's also the host of the Living Low Carb show. It's Livin' Low Carb. You're a Southerner, Jimmy, right?
Yeah.
So
Livin' La
G's.
Vida Low Carb show. Yeah.
Livin' La Vida Low Carb. Okay. So, we'll be right back with more on the subject with the Moores. We'll be back. I'm Dr. Ronald Hoffman, and this is the Intelligent Medicine Podcast.